How to manage anger, desire, or fear. Regarding a major incident involving a California resident. The event involving Cole Tomas Allen is a confirmed, real-world news incident, not a hoax or an AI-generated fabrication. As of April 26, 2026, multiple reputable global news organizations, including the Associated Press, Reuters, The Washington Post, and CBS News, are actively reporting on the case. These outlets verify that the attack at the Washington Hilton, allegedly carried out by Allen, is an authenticated breaking news event supported by on-the-ground reporting and official statements. A significant event occurred yesterday involving an individual from California, but contrary to some reports, it happened in Washington, D.C., not New York. According to the document, on Saturday evening, April 25, 2026, Cole Tomas Allen, a 31-year-old from Torrance, California, allegedly attempted to attack the White House Correspondents Dinner. Key details of the incident include: location, Washington Hilton Hotel, Washington, D.C. Nature of the attack, Allen allegedly entered the lobby armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and several knives, firing between 5 and 8 shots before being subdued. Intended targets. Reports indicate he aimed to attack members of the Trump administration, who were present at the event. Casualties. One Secret Service agent was shot but survived due to a bulletproof vest. Background. Allen is a Caltech graduate and tutor who had checked into the hotel as a guest, enabling him to smuggle weapons inside. Legal status. He faces federal charges, including assault on a federal officer. The document also clarifies that this should not be confused with a separate 2024 incident in New York involving the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Motive behind the attack. Preliminary findings suggest Allen intended to target Trump administration officials. The document states that he told law enforcement he planned to shoot administration officials. Additional context includes: premeditation. He traveled cross-country by train and checked into the hotel to bypass security. Political background. Public records show no party preference, though he once donated $25 to Kamala Harris's 2024 campaign. Professional profile. A highly educated mechanical engineering and computer science graduate who worked as a tutor and game developer. Investigators are reviewing his devices and writings to determine ideological influences. He is scheduled for arraignment on April 27, 2026. Consciousness analysis of Allen's energy level. Using Dr. David R. Hawkins' map of consciousness, the document places Allen's behavior in the below 200 range, the domain of all force, not power. It specifically associates his actions with anger, 150, desire, 125, and fear, 100. Key interpretations from the document. Anger, 150. The worldview is adversarial. The individual sees life as a struggle against an antagonist. Allen's targeting of officials reflects this punitive mindset. Desire, 125. Characterized by craving and fixation. When frustrated, it often escalates into anger. Fear, 100. Rooted in perceiving the world as threatening, leading to preemptive or defensive violence. The document emphasizes that levels below 200 are destructive, ego-driven, and life-weakening. Allen's premeditated attack is described as a peak expression of force. Constructive alternatives for managing political frustration. The document outlines several healthier ways to channel political stress. 1. Direct civic engagement. Volunteer locally. Contact elected officials. Participate in grassroots organizing. 2. Media boundaries. Limit news intake. Prefer reading over video. Use balanced, fact-based sources. 3. Psychological self-regulation. Focus on what you can control. Use physical regulation, exercise, breathing, nature. Take digital breaks. 4. Productive dialogue. Seek shared values. Practice active listening. Aim for understanding, not winning. Emotional battlefield curriculum module. Managing anger, desire, and fear through strategic awareness. 1. Terrain, understanding the emotional landscape. The document describes a violent incident in Washington, D.C., where a 31-year-old man from California attempted an armed attack at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. From the document, Allen allegedly stormed the lobby carrying a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. In the emotional battlefield framework, this is an example of emotion overtaking cognition. The terrain is dominated by anger, explosive, adversarial. Desire, fixation on an outcome. Fear, perception of threat. These are the three emotional forces that destabilize inner terrain and lead to destructive action when unmanaged. 2. Reconnaissance, identifying the root drivers. The document provides insight into the attacker's motives. Allen reportedly told law enforcement that he specifically planned to shoot administration officials. This reveals the surface target, but not the root cause. In emotional battlefield terms, reconnaissance asks, what belief fueled the anger? What unmet need fueled the desire? What perceived threat fueled the fear? Hawkins' map of consciousness places these states below 200, the realm of force. From the document, actions that involve violence or the intent to harm others are characterized by destructive, contractive energy fields. Reconnaissance teaches that the visible crisis is never the true origin. 3. Maneuver, shifting away from the emotional a strong point. When anger, desire, or fear surge, the instinct is to confront the emotion directly. But the curriculum teaches, avoid the strong, strike the weak. Instead of fighting the emotion head-on, step away from the trigger. Redirect attention to the underlying belief. Interrupt the emotional momentum. This mirrors the stratagem. Don't fight at Han-don. Strike at Daliang. 4. Micro-wins, breaking the emotional siege. The document offers practical alternatives to destructive political frustration. Volunteering. Contacting officials. Limiting media exposure. Physical regulation. Taking digital breaks. These are micro-wins, small, strategic actions that weaken the emotional away army by cutting off its supply lines. From the document, channeling energy into concrete steps can alleviate the helplessness that often fuels anger. Micro-wins create immediate relief and restore agency. 5. Coexistence, allowing the emotion to retreat. Once the root cause is addressed, the emotional storm begins to lose power. Coexistence means not re-engaging the anger, not feeding the desire, not amplifying the fear, allowing the nervous system to downshift. This aligns with the document's guidance on meaningful disengagement and media boundaries. 6. Retreat, intercepting the returning pattern. Old emotional patterns will attempt to return, just as an army regroups. The guiling ambush metaphor applies here. When anger resurfaces, intercept with breath. When desire resurfaces, intercept with clarity. When fear resurfaces, intercept with grounding. From the document. Use exercise, deep breathing, or nature walks to release the physical tension associated with political anger. This is the ambush, a prepared, conscious response that neutralizes the pattern. 7. Reformation, rewriting the internal narrative. Reformation is the shift from force to power. The document emphasizes that levels above 200, courage and beyond, represent agency, truth, integrity, constructive action. Reformation involves rewriting beliefs, rebuilding boundaries, reframing identity, reclaiming authorship of one's emotional life. This is where the emotional battlefield becomes a place of growth rather than conflict. 8. Integration, building a conscious media and civic practice. The final section of the document teaches media literacy, which is essential for emotional sovereignty. Integration practices include choosing fact-based news sources, avoiding sensationalism, using bias mapping tools, applying the CRAAP test, recognizing emotional manipulation in media. From the document. Words designed to make you feel outraged or scared are signs of sensationalism. Integration ensures that external information does not hijack internal stability. Curriculum summary. Anger arises when the world feels adversarial. Desire arises when craving becomes fixation. Fear arises when the world feels threatening. The emotional battlefield teaches. Terrain, recognize the emotional storm. Reconnaissance, identify the root cause. Maneuver, shift away from the emotional strong point. Micro-wins, break the emotional siege. Coexistence, allow the emotion to retreat. Retreat, intercept the returning pattern. Reformation, rewrite the narrative. Integration, build conscious habits and media hygiene. This transforms destructive emotional energy into strategic, life-supporting power. Thank you for listening.